up one day and realizing that the game has completely changed. Not because you suddenly learned some secret technique or memorized a bunch of lines, but because something inside you shifted so powerfully that women started noticing you before you even opened your mouth. Sounds impossible? It feels that way when you're stuck in the endless cycle of trying too hard, getting rejected, and wondering why nothing ever sticks. You've scrolled through countless videos promising quick fixes, watched friends who seem effortless get all the attention, and deep down felt that quiet frustration of wanting connection but not knowing how to make it happen naturally. What if I told you the real secret isn't in doing more, but in becoming so undeniably magnetic that attraction happens on its own? This isn't hype. This is the raw truth that most men never discover because they're too busy chasing shadows. In the next few minutes, you're going to uncover how the most attractive men on the planet operate not by chasing women, but by building an inner world so strong that women are drawn into their orbit without them lifting a finger. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. Here's the cliffhanger that changes everything. What if the one thing you've been missing isn't effort, but a single invisible switch that flips your entire presence? And I'll reveal exactly what it is right after this. You've been there, haven't you? That moment at the party or in the coffee shop where you see her, the way her laugh lights up the room, the subtle glance she gives across the space. Your heart races, your mind floods with a dozen things you could say, but instead you freeze or force something awkward. Later that night you replay it, beating yourself up for not being smoother, funnier, or more confident. It's exhausting, and it's relatable because almost every man has lived that story. The pressure to perform, to be the perfect version of what you think they want. It's draining. But here's the psychological truth that flips the script. Women are not primarily attracted to what you do in the moment. They're drawn to the quiet, unshakable energy you carry with you everywhere. The kind of energy that doesn't need validation because it already knows its worth. Think about the men you've admired from afar. The ones who walk into a room and conversations naturally gravitate toward them. They aren't the loudest. They aren't flexing or buying drinks for everyone. They simply exist with a calm certainty that says, I am enough. That certainty is magnetic. Psychology calls it congruence. When your inner self and outer presence are perfectly aligned. When you're not pretending, not performing, women feel it on a subconscious level. It's why some guys get numbers without trying, while others chase and come up empty. The difference isn't tactics, it's identity. Let me take you deeper. Most men operate from a place of lack. They see a beautiful woman and immediately think, I need to impress her. That need creates tension, desperation, a subtle energy of wanting something from her. Women are incredibly intuitive. They pick up on that microsecond hesitation, that slight overeagerness in your voice or posture. It's not conscious judgment, it's primal. Attraction is largely about safety and excitement. When you radiate quiet strength and self-amusement, you become both safe and thrilling. You don't need her approval because your world is already full. Paradoxically, that's when they want in. This is where it gets powerful. Attracting women without doing a single thing starts with killing the need to do anything at all. Stop the mental gymnastics. Stop scanning rooms for opportunities. Instead, pour every ounce of your focus into becoming the kind of man who is genuinely fascinated by his own life. Hit the gym not to look good for them, but because mastering your body builds unbreakable discipline. Read books, build skills, travel, create art, chase goals that light a fire in your soul, not because it will attract women, but because a man on fire is irresistible. When your days are filled with purpose, your energy changes. You walk differently. You speak slower. Your eyes hold contact longer because you're not rushing to fill silence. You're comfortable in your own skin, and that comfort is contagious. I remember talking to a friend who transformed his dating life overnight. He wasn't chasing dates. He was deep in a project he loved, building something meaningful at work and hitting personal records in the gym. Women started approaching him at events, commenting on his vibe, asking questions first. He wasn't doing anything different outwardly. The shift was internal. He stopped seeing women as the prize and started seeing himself as the prize. That subtle mindset flip created a gravitational pull. This is real. It's psychology backed by how humans connect. We are drawn to people who don't need us but choose to share their world. Let's break this down psychologically so you can feel the impact. Your brain has a reticular activating system that filters reality based on what you focus on. When you're desperate for female attention, your mind highlights every rejection, every missed signal, reinforcing scarcity. But when you rewire to abundance, focusing on your growth, your mission, your self-respect, Your brain starts spotting opportunities everywhere because you're no longer operating from fear. Women sense this shift. They feel the difference between a man who's on the hunt and a man who's peacefully conquering his own mountain. The hunter chases and scatters the herd. The king sits on his throne and the right people come to him. Build unbreakable confidence through small daily proofs. Wake up early. Make your bed. Train your body. Speak your truth even when it's uncomfortable. These aren't things you do for women. They're things you do for the man in the mirror. Over time, that man becomes someone worth knowing. You develop what psychologists call quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't announce itself but commands respect. You listen more than you speak because you're genuinely curious about people, not just waiting for your turn to impress. That curiosity makes you magnetic. Women open up to men who make them feel truly seen, not just desired. Now, let's get even more practical while keeping the without doing a single thing principle alive. It's not about zero effort forever. It's about redirecting effort away from chasing and into self-mastery, so attraction becomes effortless. Your body language speaks volumes before words ever do. Stand tall, shoulders back, moving with deliberate calm. Not stiff, but grounded. When you enter a space, don't scan for women. Own the room as if it's yours because your inner world is rich. Smile genuinely, not the forced grin of someone seeking approval, but the relaxed smile of a man at peace with himself. Eye contact becomes natural because you're not intimidated. You're present. Stories like this hit hard because they're everywhere. Once you open your eyes, the guy who used to overthink every text now gets replies instantly because his life is so full that his messages carry zero pressure. The friend who stopped dating apps cold turkey after focusing on his business and hobbies, suddenly women from his social circle were introducing him to their friends. It's not magic. It's the compound effect of becoming high value. High-value men don't chase because they don't have to. Their time, energy, and attention are premium resources, and women instinctively compete for them. Curiosity keeps this alive. What if the biggest barrier between you and effortless attraction is not your looks, money, or status, but the story you tell yourself every day? Most men carry invisible baggage, past rejections, limiting beliefs like "I'm not good enough" or "women only want the top 10%. These stories create a self-fulfilling prophecy. You act small, so opportunities stay small. But when you rewrite the narrative, "I am becoming the man who naturally attracts what he wants," your behavior changes at a core level. You take up space. You speak with conviction. You stop apologizing for existing. And women notice. Let's dive into the emotional layer because this is where real transformation happens. Loneliness is brutal. Wanting connection but feeling invisible hurts. Society bombards men with conflicting messages. Be sensitive but strong. Vulnerable but stoic, provider but exciting. It's confusing. The way out isn't more strategies. It's radical self-acceptance first. Look at your flaws honestly, then commit to growth without shame. Forgive past failures, they were teachers. Embrace your unique edge. The quirks that make you different are often what make you memorable. When you stop hiding parts of yourself to fit some ideal, authenticity shines. And authenticity is catnip for real connection. Imagine a day where you no longer feel the anxiety of "what if she doesn't like me?" Instead, you feel calm excitement. If it aligns, great. If not, my life is already incredible. That detachment is powerful. It frees you to be playful, teasing, fully present in conversations because you're not outcome dependent. Women feel that freedom and lean in. They share more. They invest. The dynamic flips. You become the selector, not the selected. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect earned through consistent work on yourself. Keep going with me here because the deeper we go, the more this sinks in. Physical presence matters, but inner game rules everything. Cultivate emotional resilience. Life will throw challenges, work stress, family issues, setbacks. The man who handles them with grace becomes extraordinarily attractive. Why? Because women want a partner, not another child to manage. Strength under pressure is sexy. It's why stories of men overcoming adversity pull at heartstrings. You don't need to broadcast your struggles, but living them with dignity radiates quiet power. Humor plays a huge role too. Not forced jokes, but the ability to laugh at yourself and the absurdity of life. Self-deprecating humor mixed with confidence shows you don't take yourself too seriously, yet you know your worth. Women relax around men like that. Tension dissolves, conversations flow. This is the without doing a single thing in action. Your vibe does the heavy lifting. Let's expand on social dynamics. Stop treating every interaction as a potential date. Become a man who builds genuine friendships and connections across the board. Your social circle grows naturally. Invites come, opportunities multiply. Women see you as socially proofed, not because you're manipulating, but because you're a guy people want around. That proof works subconsciously. It signals pre-selection. If others value you, she will too. Mindset shifts continue stacking. Practice gratitude daily for what you have. Your health, skills, potential. Scarcity mindset breeds desperation. Abundance mindset breeds patience. When you're abundant, you can walk away from mismatches without bitterness. That freedom is attractive. You become the man who chooses quality over quantity, and women respect that. Curious yet? What hidden habit is quietly repelling the connections you want? For many, it's constant phone checking, seeking external validation, or living in future fantasies instead of the present moment. Presence is rare and powerful. When you listen like her words are the most interesting thing in the room, she feels it. Most men are waiting to speak. You become different by actually caring about understanding her world. Not as a tactic, but as a way of being. Body and health are foundational. Sleep well, eat to fuel performance, move daily. A man in command of his vessel carries energy that others feel. It's not about six-pack abs for everyone, it's about vitality. You stand taller, your voice resonates deeper. Energy attracts. Tired, slumped men fade into the background. Vital men light up spaces. Financial independence and purpose amplify this. You don't need to be rich, but having direction and control over your resources signals responsibility and ambition. Women are wired to notice providers and protectors at a deep level, even in modern times. But again, it's not the chase, it's the byproduct of you handling your business. Let's address the common pain points head-on so you can relate and release them. The dry spell that feels endless, the ghosting that stings, the comparison to influencers with perfect lives. All of it is part of the journey. Use it as fuel. Every no brings you closer to alignment with someone who says hell yes to the real you. Rejection is redirection. When you internalize that, fear loses its grip. You approach life boldly, and boldness is magnetic. Expand your world. Pursue hobbies that excite you, rock climbing, cooking, music, volunteering, not for women, but for the richness they add. You'll meet people naturally, including women who share those interests. Shared passions create instant connection without forced effort. The conversations happen organically because you're already passionate. Voice and communication evolve too. Speak with intention. Pause for effect. Use your voice as an instrument of calm power. Lower, slower tones convey confidence. Ask deep questions that show intellect and curiosity. What lights you up lately beats small talk every time. People remember how you made them feel, and making someone feel fascinating is a superpower. As weeks turn to months of living this way, something remarkable happens. You stop noticing the lack of attention because your focus is elsewhere. Then suddenly, it's everywhere. Compliments, prolonged eye contact, numbers offered unprompted, invites to hang out. It's the compound interest of self-investment paying off. The women who enter your life now match your elevated energy. Quality skyrockets. This path isn't overnight, but it's inevitable if you commit. Psychology shows habit formation takes consistency, 21 days to start, 90 days to solidify. Track your wins. Journal the shifts in how people respond to you. Celebrate the small attractions that prove it's working. Momentum builds fast once the foundation is set. Deeper still, spirituality or inner peace practices amplify everything. Meditation, time in nature, reflection, these quiet the noise and connect you to something larger. A centered man is rare. Women feel safe and inspired around him. He doesn't need to fill every silence, because his presence is enough. Sexual energy and polarity matter. Embrace masculine energy, decisiveness, leadership, protectiveness, without aggression. Women respond to polarity. When you're grounded in your masculinity, it creates natural tension and attraction, not through dominance games, but authentic expression. Stories from real life keep piling up. The quiet engineer who started lifting and pursuing photography, women at his exhibits initiated contact. The divorced dad who focused on co-parenting well and rebuilding his fitness, new connections flowed through school events. Ordinary men becoming extraordinary through inner work. You can too. Keep the curiosity alive. What would your life look like in 6 months if you stopped chasing entirely and doubled down on becoming undeniable? Picture it. Waking up excited for your mission. Interactions feeling light and playful. Women leaning forward, laughing at your stories, wanting more time. It's not fantasy. It's the natural outcome. Challenges will come. Old habits die hard. When doubt creeps in, remember your why. Freedom, genuine connection, becoming the best man you can be. Surround yourself with positive influences, books like Models by Mark Manson or The Way of the Superior Man by David Dida. Absorb wisdom that reinforces the path. Social skills refine naturally as you engage more. Join groups, attend events aligned with your interests, not for pickup, but for life enrichment. The side effect is expanded options and refined charisma. Attracting without doing starts looking like this. You live boldly. Women notice. Conversations start themselves. You respond from abundance, leading gently where it feels right. Dates happen effortlessly. Relationships deepen because they're built on real value, not performance. The psychological impact compounds. Higher self-esteem reduces anxiety. Better posture improves mood via body-mind feedback. Purpose gives meaning that radiates outward. You become a man who inspires just by existing in his truth. Pushing further, consider legacy. What kind of example do you want to set? For yourself, for future generations. Living this way models strength, integrity, and self-mastery. It's attractive on every level. Romantic, platonic, professional. Humor again, the ability to not take dating so seriously. Tease lightly, laugh at mismatches, keep it fun. Life is too short for heavy games. Playfulness draws people in like moths to flame. Physical touch, when appropriate, calibrated, respectful, builds connection. But it flows naturally when the vibe is right because you're not forcing. Long-term, this creates a fulfilling life where relationships enhance rather than define your happiness. That's the ultimate attraction hack, needing no one but welcoming the right ones. We've covered mindset, body, social proof, presence, purpose, resilience, authenticity, curiosity, polarity, and consistency. Now integrate it. Start today with one small shift, maybe a better morning routine, or deeper listening in your next conversation. Watch the ripple effects. The transformation is real, relatable, and within reach. Men just like you have done it. The frustration you feel now can become fuel for an unstoppable version of yourself. As we near the end, reflect on this journey. You've absorbed principles that can rewrite your romantic reality, not through tricks, but through becoming. The power was always inside. Now it's time to unleash it.